Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone? Welcome to the AMP Mastermind meeting for the month of May. We are so excited to have you today. We have some really powerful people in this room, and I quickly want to pass the computer around and introduce to you the people that are here to join us this evening. So I'll start us off. My name is Jonathan Fritzler, and I represent the organization and Aloha Movement.
Hi, my name is Eric Butler. Peace. I represent worldpeaceplan.org and depictionreaders.org.
Hello everyone, my name is Seth Elmer. I represent surftocure.org, and you also can catch me on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Seth. Hello.
Hi everyone, aloha. I'm Astoria Venus, and I'm the director of the Institute.
All right. So thanks to everyone for joining. Have you here, and I'm going to actually bring some music down. And what we're going to be talking about today, every time that we have a meeting, we always base our meetings on a particular theme. And the theme for this month is realignment. And what we're going to be talking about, discussing with this group of awesome activists and peace leaders and organizational representatives, we're going to be talking about the importance of alignment and the value of being able to keep ourselves in alignment with our vision when the world has a different agenda. Because as we all know, a lot of times when we are leading an organization, leading a new movement, leading a new idea, and just being a leader in general, a lot of times we face really big challenges and sometimes opposition. And so it's very important for us as leaders to keep integrity to our vision, and I'm very excited to be able to get feedback from each of you to see what it is that you do to keep yourself in alignment with your vision, because we all kind of have these different genres or different focuses, different industries that we work in, and for all of our viewers out there, you may be someone that's just part of an organization, or maybe you are a leader in an organization, or you could be a student. But no matter where you are at, it's important for all of us to be able to share these different strategies for staying in alignment. And really that's what the AMP Mastermind is all about doing, is bringing together community leaders and sharing best practices, and sharing motivation. Because ultimately what we do here, and the reason why we come here, and the purpose of coming here, is to be able to share with the understanding that when we come together, where two or more gather, in agreement, we have so much more power. And so that's what we're doing here, is not just to remind us and keep us in alignment as leaders to be able to share in the space, but to also affirm it, to affirm our mission to each other, and be able to share our progressive ideas and our organizations with each other, and then also be able to share it with you out there. So thank you so much. And before we get started, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be sharing a little bit about our different ideas of alignment. And what I wanted to briefly get into, and I was going to use a whiteboard, but I'm just going to talk this one out. I want to propose an idea that within each and every single one of us there is a genius. And at times we can awaken that genius, and at other times it might be dormant. And so I want to share that the idea that when we are in alignment with our vision, when we are in alignment with our mission, and when we stay in alignment with our organizations as well, that is when we can truly awaken our genius, when we are in alignment with what is most important to us. And so I actually have this graph right here, and on this video here, and it's a little bit fuzzy, but basically on this visual, in the top of the chart, we have our highest values. and on the bottom of our chart is our lowest values. And when we are in alignment with our highest values, when we are in alignment with what is most important to us, for instance, when we're leading our organizations and when we're working for our own businesses, because I know each and every single one of us here is a leader of a nonprofit organization, and so when we work for our nonprofits, we're on fire. You know, like we know that we are, like, the actions that we're taking, we're doing it with a whole heart. You know, we're doing it with all the motivation in the world, and we don't necessarily need outside sources of motivation to do it because it's from inspiration. And that's something that I want to show you here, is that when you're in alignment with what's on your highest values, your highest value, what's most important, and your highest priorities, when you're in alignment with that, you're inspired to do things. You're inspired to take action. Whereas when we do things that are our lowest priorities or our lowest values or least important, we need outside motivation. We need to be motivated, which is a third-party concept, right? Motivation comes from something else. Like, I need to get motivated versus inspired, right? And you can kind of feel that. Even when you say the word, let's say inspiration together. Inspiration, right? And then let's say motivation together. Motivation. You know, they both feel pretty good when you say it. But ultimately, when you need to be motivated, if you can catch yourself saying, I'm not feeling this right now, like if you need outside sources of motivation, maybe it is not in alignment with what's most important to you at that time. And so that's something to consider, that when you're, even if it's a day-to-day thing, like you might not feel inspired to do one thing on one day, and so you might reevaluate how you're feeling on that particular day and then take action towards something that is in alignment, that is on your highest priorities list, because then that is when you will awaken that genius. And so to me, as far as to answer the question, what is the importance of staying in alignment with your vision when the world has a different agenda? You know, it really comes down to that commitment for me. You know, and I think that each one of us are committed to our impact, committed to our vision of the world and our purpose that we have here. And so in times of trial and in times of where I'm being tested, I think that my value, my highest value, is having my greatest impact in the world while I'm here on this planet. And so I would say that that is why, to me, alignment is important. So I'm going to pass it over now to Mr. Eric Butler, who is the Peace Director of United Nations Association and also the founder of WorldPeacePlan.org.
Thank you, John Fritzler. You are awesome. And Asteria and Seth, I thank each and every one of you for this. This is really, really beautiful, and I like what you've asked us about. I'm going to start at the bottom, and that is for myself. I know that I am not perfect, and I know that I just can do the best that I can do, and that's probably what I would say to anyone out there listening. The next step up from me, from myself, because I'm on this alignment not because of what I want. If it was just for what I would want, I'd probably be very base, to tell you the truth. But there's higher things to do, and I think when I had children, that changed my life. I wanted what's best for them. And now they're all grown up. But when I had children, that was my top priority, and that was at the very top of everything. And everything I did was from that viewpoint. And then the highest viewpoint for me is God. And for me, God is it. And so God, for everyone out there, by whatever name that could be, to me is that creator. And that creator became very important to me, because if my children whom I love got sick, or someone in my family or a friend, and sometimes the only hope I had was prayer. So because I truly feel like I've been blessed, my children are all grown, I'm a grandfather, and I live in Hawaii. I wanted to see same things for everybody else. And so I got the idea that there might be a way to actually reach world peace. So I got in alignment with that idea. And I'm smiling because I laughed when I got that idea. I thought, if I told people I wanted world peace, they'd think that I'm running for Miss America.
You're definitely turning enough.
So I laughed at myself big time on that, but then I said, that's really what I want. So talk about being out of alignment. But also, I know that everybody really does. And not only do we want world peace, but we want inner peace. And we're not going to get world peace without getting inner peace. So it became like too huge to wrap your head around. I mean, come on. Let's put your feet on the ground and get grounded. World peace, inner peace. How can you make that a goal? Well, I felt like I had my path to peace. I have my inner peace, and it's pretty much so unshakable. I can't even imagine anything that would change it. Anything above this earth, below this earth, in this earth, or life or death. Really wouldn't change my personal sense of peace. So I'm good to go. I had my God, and I know that according to what I understand about God and from my viewpoint is that we love others. And so what did I want for others? I wanted them to have food, clothing, shelter, education. And so I got this idea. Should I tell them about the idea?
Yeah.
Okay. The idea is to end poverty, start ending poverty with literacy. So I've been doing peace books since 1992. I put them up online. Anybody can read them for free. But I'm going to go do a documentary in Mumbai, India. And in Mumbai, anybody that reads these peace books writes comments. I'll buy those comments and make the books better. And if they treat it like a job, that's $20 a month. And that's a lot of money. A family of 4 can start to, if the father reads, everybody can start to have food every day. If the mother and father read, we're talking about food and shelter. And so it just starts there. So that's the basic idea. It's really super simple, and that makes it super powerful. So now I just need to do a documentary and go show that. So I'm in line with that simple idea. It's easy for me to remember. It's easy to share. And once I do this documentary, it'll be easy to understand. So when people say, and this is where I'm on alignment, I get it, I've convinced myself, but sometimes maybe someone says, that's impossible. Well, there's been a lot of them things that are impossible that are now possible. It's impossible that they'd ever be selling bottled water. I'm that old. It's impossible to ever have cordless phones. And a lot of things are possible now on so many different levels. And I think this is possible now. That we can start to head in this direction. And I've looked at it a lot of times, and I didn't, in the beginning, you don't have validation from outside yourself every time, to your point. So I had to validate myself and say with my own understanding, is this really right? Would this work? And so I would ask other people, and I would still hold on to this because it felt like it was right for me. And so, Zena first brought in my first event where thousands of people stood up for world peace. Thanks to Jonathan Fritzler and I collaborating and many other people who brought so much talent to the table, we did something that was pretty awesome. And together. And then we did love, and then we did happiness, and now we're going to do this thing in Mumbai. And that's it. So one thing I can say about alignment is be true to yourself. And if you let yourself down, it's okay. Just say, next time, I'll do better, because you're not perfect. Now I'm back to where I started. I'm not perfect, but I do believe that I'm perfectly created by my Creator, and that my mission is to love others, and that love, to me, is summed up in um, helping people to have what they need and educating them.
Awesome.
That it? Woo! Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Butler. That was beautiful. Love this man very much. Right on. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pass it on over to another legendary man. He is the founder of an organization called Surf to Cure. And do you want to get that started? Or are you going to be...
No, the battery's dying.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool.
Also,
Selfie.
too, we don't need the whiteboard, obviously.
Okay, cool.
I printed it out
Oh,
here.
perfect. Nice.
So,
Right on. Awesome. So I'm going to pass it on over to Mr. Seth Elmer. Give it up. Woo.
all right, hello everybody. Is the camera right in the middle? Right there?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So staying in alignment, even though there is a world that is not in alignment with you. Yeah? What was it?
Yeah, so the question is, what is the importance of staying in alignment with your vision when the world has a different agenda?
Very good. What is the importance of staying in alignment with your vision when the world has a different agenda? The first thing that I would determine would be is to first, for me, you have to develop this this conviction. The conviction really comes from that intention of like, what type of impact can I create in this world on a positive and a productive level? Like, how many lives can I touch with, you know, with my talents, with my capabilities, and with my skills? That's like the first thing to determine. And what you want to do is you want to create conviction with that. And then what happens with the conviction is the conviction must hold on to the vision of implementing the step-by-step plan. So the plan would be, you know, first I need to do this, I need to make these contacts, make these types of alliances, and then, you know, secure that with like-minded individuals. And then here you're kind of bringing in the vision, right? And then the conviction holds on to the vision, and these two move you through the completion of the mission.
Woo! Yeah.
So those have to be harmonized together. You can have like unbridled conviction, passion. It's almost like a wild like fan at a soccer game. Yeah, they're just out of control, cheering like crazy. But for me, what I've always disciplined myself to do is to align that with that plan of action, with the vision. And then whenever I would experience setbacks, discouragements, feeling like I've lost my energy on it, perhaps, like you said, with a world that doesn't share the agenda. Yeah. Maybe you're in an environment where people aren't receptive. They're just cruising around, doing their own thing, kind of just self-centered and focused. And they may not be like open and ready to jump onto your bandwagon. And even though you have this like this compassion that you want to make an impact in the world, sometimes you can get discouraged really easily by people that may not be sharing the intensity of that passion. So when it comes to those areas, what you want to do is you want to start cultivating the conviction and then have that hold on to the vision. So the conviction must hold on to the vision. And for me, that's always proved true. It's always proved true because if you just learn to align those two, that's the most important and primary alignment, is to get that intention, that deep intention with the heart. The heart acts like an imprint in the external. An imprint into the external. It has to be a very strong heart intention that has to align with the vision. Another way too is, like you were saying earlier, what within my environment can help me develop certain skills that would allow me to, succeed in with my pursuit. So let's say you're on a clock in, clock out life. Is there somewhere within your workplace that you can find some sort of social interactivity that you can find to hone in to start developing a certain skill that you could take and then apply it to your project or to your mission plan that's off to the side, and then as you take that opportunity at that platform and apply it over here, and what happens is those start working together. So it's not like, oh, I'm just working at a job just to pay my bills. No, you can find something within your job to develop talents within what you're doing to apply towards your entrepreneurial path, and they can become congruent. So that's what I learned to do being a surf teacher. A lot of the students, you have to conduct like a little surfing seminar, and you have to communicate with them. So it really refined my public speaking abilities, and that's what you can do. Even if you're like if you're making coffee at Starbucks, you can like develop your social skills with your customers. You can start practicing on how you can become kind of bright. If you see someone that's standing in line that looks a little down, you can like take that opportunity to kind of see if you can like lift them up by being a little bit more cheerful or whatever, or maybe starting just a tiny little spark of conversation with them, something like that. There's always something within. So, and also along with that, what you want to do is, like I said before, is make alliances with like-minded individuals, and through that coalescing of those like-mindedness, those energies connect together, and it becomes more of a unified mind. And then when you separate from the group, you yourself have now got an extra boost for that personal conviction, for your personal project. So you got to meet with a group at least once a week or once a month to really keep that conviction strong. And you have to at least twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening, you have to mentally rehearse through repetition the details of that vision, the details of that plan. And that vision has to be so strong in your head that your current situations are not being able to hold that vision. So that greater vision of what you want to accomplish must be so powerful and so strong that the people that are on those higher levels of success and on those higher levels of what they could do to accelerate your vision, they will start being kind of drawn to you because your vision is being created so strongly outside. So you have to take time every day in the morning and at night, to go through that process of kind of like, it's almost like creating the vision. How are you seeing it all around you? And then how are you seeing it take place and unfold in the immediate future and in the long-term future? And those are the most effective tools that you can use on a daily basis to always stay in alignment with your vision. Woo. Thank you, John.
That was powerful. Now, was that your presentation? that wasn't even the presentation, was it? That was just your answer to the question.
Yes, so
it's pretty amazing. Okay, cool. So then, what we'll do? Thank you for that. That was beautiful. And excuse me. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to pass it over to Astaria, and I think that what we'll do is we'll have you answer the question and talk, and then we'll have Seth go into the teaching that you brought, and then we'll end it with the sound healing session. Beautiful. Astaria, cool. So now what I'd like to do is pass it over to our good friend Astaria Venus, and Astaria Venus is an international sound healer. She is world-renowned, and she is She does retreats and does sound healing. She has her own style of sound healing, and it's absolutely phenomenal. We just did a huge event at our house here in Hawaii, and she had, I think we brought in about 25 people. The living room was absolutely packed with people. It was a beautiful experience, and she has had so many healings and miracles that have happened in people's lives because of the work that she does. And I just want to give so much gratitude for having you here, and we're really grateful to be able to share your message here with all these people. And so I'm going to pass it over right now to Astaria.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's great to be here, and I'm excited to share with all of you. I love today's topic, and I just loved what everybody has shared so far. So yes, my background has been working with vibration and the healing power of sound, and the power of sound to literally attune ourselves and bring us into vibrational alignment, bringing the body back into a state of coherence and harmony so that we feel a very deep inner peace and inner alignment on a vibrational level. So the very first part of coming into vibrational alignment has to do with really connecting with and aligning and vibrationally connecting with the earth and the rhythms and pulsations of the earth. As I'm sure most of you are aware of, that our divine earth is a vibrating consciousness field. The energy that is vibrating through all of life on the earth, through the plant life, through the oceans, through the waters, through the earth, is a living, breathing energy. The energy that comes through the earth is actually supporting the biological life on the planet. And these very elements that the earth is made of are the same elements that we are made of. And so as the earth is vibrating, these vibrating particles, and our very body, made of the same elements as the earth, is also these vibrating particles. And when we vibrationally connect with the vibrations of the earth, we actually feel very deep peace and alignment. And we actually feel a level of vibrational support that supports our entire system. And so what quantum physics has now finally discovered is that our brain waves are actually connected with the brain wave of the earth. That our brain waves are connected to the major pulse system and vibrational wave of this planet. And one of the vibrational waves of the planet, of course, because the earth is predominantly made of water, H2O, just like our human body is predominantly made of water. And these oceans and tides of the earth is a very big vibrational rhythmic wave, also connected with the moon. And so when we align with these vibrations, we bring ourselves into a very deep state of peace and tranquility, as all of you have experienced when you go to the ocean, which is why we love to go and be by the water, because it attunes our vibrational field back into entrainment with the vibrations of the earth. Now, our brain waves are very active, and there's a lot of things that actually affect our brain waves. Some of the technologies that exist on the planet at this time actually can realign our brain waves and take us out of synchronicity with the vibrations of the earth. So some of the computers, the Wi-Fi, the EMFs, all of these things affect our brain waves, even if we're not aware of it. And so what can happen is it can actually create this disharmony or disconnection with nature and those vibrational waves of nature, and create the mind to go into confusion, maybe feel a bit of unclarity, really not sure about what it is that you're really wanting to create, like where is your vibrational alignment. And so with the power of sound, we can actually bring ourselves back into this connection with nature and literally synchronize our brainwaves back with the vibrations of the earth in a matter of minutes. And that happens through the process of entrainment. And that's one of the very foundational principles of sound: resonance and entrainment. And so what we can do is through entrainment, we can actually bring our brainwaves back into the alpha state, or into the theta, or even into a deeper state of delta, and literally synchronize and harmonize our brainwaves back into this pulse wave of the earth. Now, the other amazing thing that happens when we do this is that it brings our entire system into balance. So our brainwaves are actually connected to our heart pulse. And our brainwaves are also interconnected with our respiratory system, as well as our cranial fluid in our spine. So we have 4 pulse systems: our brainwaves, our heart pulse, the cranial fluid in our spine, and our respiratory system. And our 4 pulse systems are interconnected. And when we entrain one of those pulse systems, all 4 come into coherence. So you can think of it like 4 different radio stations happening at once, right? So the EMFs are going off, all this stuff is going on, all of a sudden you're confused and you're not clear, you're feeling scattered, right? So all of a sudden with sound therapy, we can actually bring our brain waves through entrainment into connection with our heart, our respiratory system, everything into this coherent wave. So these 4 radio stations, our brain waves doing one thing, our heart pulse doing one thing, our breathing doing something else, we can bring it all into one coherent wave. And when that happens, the body relaxes at the deepest level. The stress hormone cortisol is released from the system, and we can actually come into inner vibrational alignment and harmonic balance. We can actually connect into our heart and really feel what our intention is and really know it from a vibrational level. And this is one of the amazing powers of sound, to bring our mind and our heart into connection and bring it into connection with the earth. Because remember, just like the trees and the plants and this biology